So I wanted to start this year by putting out a different type of content aside from my traditional podcasts or the tutorial videos on how to do Facebook technically, right? Because I'll be honest, I don't really enjoy doing those. And in fact, the idea of having to do another Facebook step by step video drains my soul. So, what actually gets me more excited to sit down in front of the camera is to talk about things that I believe are important that if I could have taught myself a few months ago, for years ago, that I know would have been of value. Because to me, that means if I share these lessons with you, or ideas, or thoughts, or problems, solutions to problems, that you should be able to get some kind of value too. I thought, hey, I've got 4 hours on this awesome flight sitting here in first class at my own little private suite in Emirates, just super cool. And yeah, I've got nothing else to do. So I'm going to do the first video now. So what I want to share with you in this video is 7 ways to print money with Facebook ads in 2025. Because yes, you could get on YouTube and find plenty of gurus and influencers out there saying Facebook ads don't work. You need to do YouTube ads. You need to do TikTok ads if it doesn't get banned. You need to use influencers, all these other things. But Facebook is still where we spend almost all of our advertising budget. I think in November, I probably spend close to $600,000 or $700,000 on Facebook profitably. So if that's working for me, it could absolutely work for you. And I say that also because I know guys that are spending 10x what I'm spending consistently. And if it wasn't working and YouTube was better or TikTok was better, they would have put all their budget there already. Okay. So I'm going to go through with you 7 of the most important things that you can focus on if you want to make more money with Facebook ads, or if Facebook ads aren't working for you. Okay. The first one is always going to come down to the offer itself. If you have your own offer, your own product or service that you're advertising, and it's just not working and there's no proven track record, you don't see other people offering it, that may be the first sign, right? But let's say that you are advertising something in the affiliate marketing space or in the e-com space, and you see other people selling it, they built a brand around it, right? If it's e-commerce. So obviously they built a brand around. So maybe you see a product that's being advertised by a brand. So the fact that they've been able to build a brand around it and continue to spend behind it, and you see other dropshippers doing it, that means that the product itself is not the issue, right? So I want to share with you 7 of the most important things for you to focus on if either you want to make more money with Facebook ads or if Facebook ads are not working for you right now, because they will if you apply these ideas and principles, okay? So the first thing is going to be the offer itself, right? So if you're selling it, let's say on the e-commerce side, something that people have built brands around, you see dropshippers selling, the product itself is probably not the issue. Just like on the affiliate or lead generation or pay-per-call side, if you're doing auto insurance, for example, well, auto insurance isn't just a bad product or service that people sell. People want it, people need it. It's going to keep selling. That's not going to change, right? But how you pitch it, how you bundle it together on the e-commerce side is super important. Are you selling a buy one, get one free? Are you selling it at a premium with additional accessory products or units, right? Are you building a subscription off the back of it and making it really cheap on the front end? And then on the lead generation side, what's the angle behind it, right? Or more importantly, what I find makes a bigger difference is, did you test that same auto insurance offer within different networks, right? Because you in affiliate marketing and lead generation and pay-per-call, you have what's called an advertiser, which is sometimes the actual insurance company that's closing the deals and writing the policies. But more often than not, they're buying a lot of the leads and calls, and then they have agents on the back that they're selling to, right? You will find that if you run the same exact ads for auto insurance in this example, but you test 3 or 4 different advertisers, you're going to see different results. You're going to see different data points, right? You're going to see different KPIs. So just by split testing the offer on the lead generation side like that, or even how you bundle the product and present it on the e-com side, can and will make all the difference, okay? The second thing is going to be the creatives. And when I say creatives, it's very simple. It's a combination of the angle that you're using, what's the messaging behind why and how you're speaking to someone, and then how you're hooking them. What are you using in those first 3 to 5 seconds of your messaging in the scripting and or the video to get their attention and capture it, right? How are you hooking them to actually commit the next 30 to 60 seconds to continuing to pay attention to what you are showing, right? That is huge. That is everything. There's so much leverage in the creatives, but it all starts with the actual offer slash product that you have first, right? And remember, you go deeper on both these. You go very deep in the creatives like we do. We test tons of this different iterations and variations. And then on the offer side, we're always split testing the buyers or the offer we're sending traffic to itself. So once again, that could be 3 or 4 different car and auto insurance brands that convert differently, right? And maybe even pay differently. Okay. Another thing that will help you print more money with Facebook ads is asking yourself, can you get paid more, right? On the initial sale, especially whether you're in e-commerce or whether you're in lead gen, it doesn't matter. If you can find a way to get paid more, to collect more money on that first opt-in, on that first sale, it will absolutely make everything much easier. Okay. I had a campaign last year in 2024. Crazy to think about that. It's 2025 now. That just by getting a new buyer on board that purchased a broader net across the US. So they basically, in insurance, you have to be licensed in each state. They were buying in an additional 20 states and they were paying me 10 to 15% more than the rest of my buyers. That automatically made us go from like negative 5% ROI, maybe break even, all the way to 20 to 30% ROI, just because of the coverage and the whole cost dynamics and what it produced from the traffic completely changed. It became a new product or offer in itself, right? So this is why it's a relationship business, no matter what, whether you're doing e-commerce, maybe you negotiate cheaper prices with your suppliers, maybe you get better payment terms with Facebook, maybe you get discounts because of your volume, right? There's things you could do on e-commerce side. Same principles and ideas apply to the lead gen pay-per-call side, right? It's all an arbitrage at the end of the day. How can you create margin unless you're actually, even if it's your brand yourself and you're processing the deals, you're writing the policies, you just have more meat on the pie, right? But it's the same idea. Okay. This goes hand in hand with the next thing, which is how can you make more money on the back end? With e-commerce, it's very straightforward, right? You could build a subscription or you could just get them to come back and purchase again. Okay. And this is done through email marketing, through SMS, through retargeting ads. Could be a lot of things, right? On the lead generation pay-per-call side, this typically goes into a data business, which there's some nuances to, especially with the upcoming regulations, which we're still unsure about how that's actually will look when it comes to SMS marketing and also outbound dialing on leads if you do play in that space. But also your buyer relationships. Can you negotiate getting a piece of the sale rather than a payout of the lead? That change can completely change a campaign for you. I know we do a lot of mass tort attorney legal leads, right? And we used to get paid on a paper lead, which was great because we knew exactly our earnings that day. But we would also ride the ups and downs of, oh, the lead quality wasn't good, which was usually a byproduct of the call center not being consistent with their own performance, which became your problem as the publisher, right? What I found is switching the CPA, where we actually get paid on a per deal basis. Not only do we get paid more, but we know exactly more or less what's happening, and we're less likely to get our campaign paused because of a bad day at the call center. Sure, we don't make as much money, or maybe we lose some money, but we keep the campaign going and we're able to scale, right? It's not that simple. Like, it's not just going to magically make everything work, but this other element can make the Facebook advertising less important in some ways, where you can afford a higher cost per lead. You can have the inconsistencies of Facebook because you're less dependent on that front end margin, which can completely change the game for you. Another thing to change your Facebook advertising this year is to find ways to monetize your waste. This is more specific probably to lead gen, but there's definitely ways you can do this with e-commerce as well. What I mean by waste? Well, traditionally with lead generation, we have multi-step surveys where we ask multiple questions either before someone is able to fill out a web form or they fill out the web form and then we ask those questions. So let's say if it's like a legal mass tort offer, like 90% of the people that come to my landing page are not going to be qualified. What am I doing with those? Am I finding a way to turn every one of those clicks into $1 or $2 or $3 or $4? This is something I have friends that are doing at a very high level. They're maybe turning a $2 to $3 click that is technically dead into $20 worth of revenue over the course of the next 6 to 12 months. Well, this is one of our focuses for 2025 because if whoever can afford to spend the most is going to win, right? So if you capture more revenue from the dead clicks that you wouldn't be able to monetize and earn from to begin with, well, the reality is you'll be able to outspend all your competitors. That actually averages down your cost per qualified lead, which should increase your margin and just make you more money so you can scale more, right? All these are levers. We can't force Facebook to be cheaper. That's just the reality. And every ad platform over time always goes up. The cost is always going to increase. We know that's a fact, right? So we can't change that. We can't get mad about it. We can pull each one of these levers and just do the best that we can to rework the economics in our favor to create that arbitrage where we make our margin and we're able to profitably scale. Another thing that's huge too that most people don't think about, and this goes back to my point about cost per deal or getting parts on the back end or parts of the contract or even processing the contract yourself if you're an insurance or whatever it is that you're advertising and selling. Well, when you sell more expensive things, that gives you more margin. And that means that you have more room to F up, you have more room to test, you have more room to be less efficient, and you could still win, right? If you sell like high ticket products instead of low ticket $5 to $10 tchotchke e-commerce cosmetics, you will absolutely have a much easier time optimizing. It might be more expensive initially because you don't see conversions and sales as quickly with higher ticket, higher priced products, services, right? But I can promise you that your life will be much easier if you do incorporate a higher value product or offer that you sell. Now, can you win the high volume, low ticket, selling $10 to $15 insurance leads? Absolutely. There's guys that do $50,000, $100,000 a day in revenue by playing this game with a consistent 10 to 20% margin or more. Now, these guys are also some of the biggest dogs I know in the marketing space, and they're just really good at what they do. And sometimes they get a little bit aggressive and make big claims. Not all of them, but some of them. And that can cause problems. That's what aligns economics to be able to play these kinds of games more or less with the low ticket, high volume stuff, right? Whole nother YouTube video we could do for that. But my point with this is if you're selling premium price products, you're going to see less conversions as you optimize initially, but your margin is going to be so big, you can F up a bunch and you'll recover within a matter of days or weeks, depending how good you are as a marketer, as a publisher, right? So don't shy away from selling expensive stuff, okay? It can and has worked really well for me, and it can work for you too, whether that's e-commerce, lead gen, services, coaching, doesn't matter, right? And last but not least, rinse and repeat all of these. There's gold in every single one of these coins I just made. Every one of these has been a lever that I've deployed and used by itself or in some combination to get campaigns to work, whether when I owned my small brick and mortar gym and we were doing 30, 40, 50 plus $1,000 in revenue per month, or in one of these lead generation, pay per call, or even e-commerce campaigns where I've seen the same 30 to 40, $50,000 in a day, right? So all of these will work. All these can be tools in your toolbox. You just need to choose one to use them. And then remember to rinse and repeat to create sustained success. Because the only thing that I can guarantee you is that Facebook ad costs are going to go up, and it's not going to get cheaper to advertise on these platforms. The reality is you have to be better as a marketer, as a business owner to problem solve this so you can continue to win. Hope that it helps. Hope you enjoyed this video. Also, if you enjoy this type of content or have any questions about anything I talked about, please give me feedback and drop it in the comments below. I'm really just sharing this stuff because I want to share it. I have these conversations already one-on-one with a lot of people. And I feel like this type of stuff that's missing here on YouTube, the real talk from being in the trenches and doing business as a business person, as a marketer, as someone putting their own money behind ad campaigns, not someone just spending someone else's money and not have to deal with the consequences of when it doesn't work out. All right. See you in the next video.